Kuala Lumpur, the Malaysian economy contracted 17.1% in the second quarter of 2020 from a 0.7% growth in the first quarter. Bank Negara Malaysia said the decline reflected the unprecedented impact of the stringent containment measures to control the COVID-19 pandemic globally and domestically. In Malaysia, the Nationwide Movement Control Order (MCO) included various measures that restricted production and consumption activities. This resulted in demand and supply shocks that emanated not only from significantly weak external demand conditions but also production constraints in many economic sectors, the central bank said today. Additionally, Bank Negara said there was a marked decline in tourism activity due to international border closures and restricted interstate travel. On the supply side, most economic sectors registered negative growth, while most expenditure components declined. On a quarter-on-quarter seasonally adjusted basis, the economy contracted by 16.5%. During the quarter, inflation rate was at 2.6%, mainly due to substantially lower retail fuel prices compared to last year and a tiered electricity tariff rebate. Core inflation moderated slightly, increased to 1.2%. In employment side, unemployment rate indicated the increase in the value due to MCO, Bank Negara said. Source: New Straits Times.
My name is Tamamur Kamar bin Muhammad Fisol. Metric number is A20A2013. We are from Group I and we want to present about macroeconomy. The business cycle economic growth is measured by the aggregate output and unemployment rate. Basically, there are four phases in the business cycle, namely peak, recession, trough, and recovery.
I will present first for the question A. By using business cycle diagram illustrate the pace of the Malaysia economic situation. We can see in the slide this is business cycle diagram situation economy in Malaysia. We demonstrate the pace by using business cycle diagram below axis X as a time while real GDP at axis Y. The curve created by value of percentage of real GDP by time. The graph indicates that the situation had three phases, that is recessions, trough, and expansions. The pace of recession identified by a fall in real GDP in 2 yearly successive quarters affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, trough pace the GDP has stopped decreasing and has begun to rise again. The pace of expansion characterized by an increase in productivity and resource usage in economic sector.
Next question is briefly explain about that pace. Based on figure 1 shows that pace of business cycle as contractions. In recession of Malaysia economic output was declined. At peak point, productivity slowly decreased until recession because there were different factors that influenced the Malaysia GDP growth. Productivity refers to the amount of goods and service that produced by Malaysia from each level and capital level. From the situation that show, from pace above, the Malaysian economy contracted 17.1% in second quarter of 2020 and from 0.7% growth in first quarter. There was marked decline in tourism activity and most of economic sectors registered negative in growth, while most expenditure components declined and an increase in employment rate. After that, a reduction in the aggregate income in terms of wages. Thank you.
Hello madam, I'm Marla Selvaraja. My metric number is A20A1438. Now I'm going to present question C1, case study number 1. State one economy policy that the government should implement. One economic policy that the government should implement is constructionary fiscal policy that can adapt to combat inflationary issues. In the paragraph from case study number 1, we can see most economy sectors register negative growth while most expenditure components decline. So, for this, we need to implement constructionary fiscal policy to increase taxes and reduce government expenditure. That's only from me. Thank you, madam.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Rebecca Amira binti Masyarat, magic number 820A1916. I will present the answer to question C2. The government has implemented policy to change government spending and taxes. Fiscal policy that is contractionary aimed to reduce aggregate demand by raising tax rate and cutting government spending. When the economy is inflated, contractionary fiscal policy is used. Tax rates are raised, reducing disposable income. Consumer demand and purchasing power both fell as did overall spending. Furthermore, government spending is cut, lowering aggregate spending and demand. Aggregate demand decline will stifle economic growth and reduce consumer purchasing power. As a result, the market overall price level fall and the inflation rate fall. Here, I will explain a little how contractionary fiscal policy can help reduce inflation. The equilibrium of the original national product is reached at point E when the curve AD equal to AS at the general price and the national product is P and Y. When the government implements fiscal policy, contraction causes AE and AD to decrease. Thus, the AD curve shifts to the left from AD to AD1. The new national product equilibrium is reached at point E1 when the curve AD1 equal to AS at general price and national product P1 and Y1. As a result, the general price fall from P to P1 indicate that the problem of demand pull inflation can be overcome. That's all from me. Thank you.